Yeah.
Sorry. Damn. Hey.
Gotcha.
Right!
You seem happy for someone who just went on a wild goose chase.
Hey, when you're free, there's no need to sweat the small stuff.
Oh, it's no skin off my nose. But if we're done here already, can we get back to our mission?
We should be able to cook here. I've got to keep my equipment in tip-top shape.
Shionne, could we talk a moment?
Do you mind if we chat a bit?
Now there's something I never thought I'd hear you say.
Remember when we talked about what it was like for me growing up? Well, I thought it only fair that I also get to ask what you were like as a child.
My childhood? Maybe you missed the memo that was going around, but I can't remember anything of my past.
I know. Just whatever you can remember. There's gotta be something, right?
Let me think. Well, have I ever told you about my army days? Back when I used to serve under a Dahnan master?
Yeah, but that must have been after you were already grown up, right? Do you happen to remember anything from back when you were younger?
Actually, I remember I had a kid with me.
You had a kid?
No, of course not. The child's father was another soldier. Back in those days, we risked our lives for a master we'd never even seen. We just fought for them and didn't even question it. When that kid's dad died and I saw them sitting there crying, I felt this bitter, indescribable feeling. It was like I was drinking something toxic that I knew I shouldn't, but couldn't stop. It was strange. I never understood why I reacted like that. Soldiers died every day. It wasn't anything new.
What it tells me is that deep down, you were the same man then as you are now. You've never been able to accept injustice in the world.
If you keep talking like that, you're going to embarrass me. I wonder whatever happened to that master and poor kid. Not that there's any way of knowing now. You know, I just remembered that kid was good at sewing dolls. They gave me one once. As a good luck charm to protect me.
Dolls? I'm looking forward to breakfast. Come on, guys. We've got lots to do.
You're saying we should check the Owl Forest?
I'll do my best!
Rotating pile driver!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my arm.
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material. An opponent like this should be easy. Dragon Swarm!
We can really make weapons with this?
I won't forgive you!
Take this! Look Dragon Swarm!
Can you take it?
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
That's far enough!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm! This one's all mine!
Glacial Fire!
A comfortable win.
Get lost!
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Nice! Deity!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor. That's far enough!
Dragon Swarm!
Eruption! By the power of water! Hurricane strikes! Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Coming through!
Dragon Swarm!
Spear! Pierce evil! Time to shine!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor. It's gigantic.
I'd say we're about evenly matched.
Right, here goes! I'm not done! Consider yourself finished!
Everlasting
Form! For the weak point! The enemy's on the rope! I'm ready!
We've got him where we want him.
It's
This one's got your name on it!
ashes to ashes.
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen. Looks like we made it here in one piece. Seriously? Is this a joke?
No!
By the power of water!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
That's a big Zoogle.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
Inferno! Thanks, Kisara!
What pain feels like? I couldn't make it in time.
Tiger Blade!
Great bathed in blood. Rending bloody howling! Not done yet! Take it!
I never miss!
Regeneration!
The
Dragon form! Regenerate!
Never
Don't suffer in silence.
Take this! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike!
No
Hear my call!
yearns to be let down! Burn in hell!
Fled!
Take this! I'm not done!
Here I go! Watch and weep!
Take this!
Shield and
Dragon
Hear
form!
me! Flame of fury! Burning! Here's evil!
I'm not done!
Freeze
We're
laser!
interrupted.
Gemini Alpha!
Heal! Thanks!
Annihilation! Hurricane Mega Ray!
I'll smash you! I'm not try harder! Not a chance! I'm not done!
Move! Healing Captivity!
Explosive ray! It's time!
Mega Ray!
I owe you one! Can't get out of this! You're finished!
Hear me!
Dragon form!
Going in! Burning
Shine!
Strike!
Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
Going in!
Don't move! Forgive me. This is my fault.
Where are you going?
I'm not done!
This one's
You're
mine!
finished! Shine!
Radiant
Come on!
Spirit Flame! Reload!
Regenerate! No!
Going in!
Can't!
Here!
One's mine!
Begin! Dragon form!
I let my guard down. I have to train harder.
Healing Circle!
Guardian Field!
I'm ready to spray!
Take this!
Annihilate!
Take this!
Dragon form! Reload! Hurricane Strike!
Take this!
This one's
I'm not
mine!
done! You're
By
finished!
the power
I
of
can
water!
carve through all!
Mega Ray!
Try harder!
Searing
No!
Flame!
I'm not done!
Inferno Crossing!
Try
Lunar
this!
Corruption!
Explosive! Is this it?
What? Come on!
You have to hold.
Begin! Seismic Rupture! Come on!
Going in!
You're finished! I'll grind you into dust! Dragon Swarm!
Ground and pound!
Dance in the wind! Explosive!
A new leaf on life!
It's time!
Tiger Blade!
You're finished!
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine! Here's a healing art!
Try harder! Reflect on that.
First aid! Ground and pound!
Ignite!
On guard! Radiant Blue! Pierce!
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane Strike!
Try this!
Lunar Corruption!
Explosive ring!
By the power of water!
Shield and
Dragon!
face!
Hurricane
Dragon
Strike!
Swarm!
Going down!
Go
armor is all mine! Thanks!
Forgive me.
Stay away from my friend!
I'll bring you back from death's
Here I
abyss.
come!
Soaring here's a healing heart.
It's in your hands
My
now.
turn! Here I come! I'm ready!
Go
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Here, let me
Here
help.
I come!
First aid. Tiger
Blazer
Blade.
Falcon!
Here's evil.
I'm not done!
Inferno Breeze Lancer.
Now you see what I can do.
Reinforcements incoming! Not a problem!
Healing circle.
In a vine.
Going in.
Try this!
Back into the fray. This one's lunar corruption.
Wide open!
It won't escape me.
Dragon Swarm!
On your
Lightning. Hurricane Strike.
shine.
No more playing nice.
Force
I'm
of
on
regeneration.
Street. Mega Ray. This one's not. It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire. Here, let me help.
Solar Blade!
Take it.
Dragon Swarm! Explosive Ray! This should do it! Take this! You picked the wrong fight! Take
Use
this!
too much.
Dragon Swarm! Try this! It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out.
You'll pay for that! Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Appreciate your help!
Try this! Negative hit! Try harder!
I'm ready to go.
You are
This should do it!
Nothing gets Freeze Lancer.
being interrupted.
Hurricane Strike. Here's a healing heart. Hurricane Strike.
You're mine! Dragon Swarm! Try this!
Where are you going? Inferno Burst.
Can't... I'm ready!
Astral Energy.
Say no more!
Watson's weak. Mega Ray.
Can't get out of this.
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Radiant Pierce.
Dragon Swarm!
By the power of
Resonate with
water.
the
That move!
Here comes a big one! The blazing light is yours! Be let free!
Freeze
This
Lancer.
should do it!
bathed in blood.
Bloody There!
Reflect on thy sin.
Radiant
They
Pierce.
smite black and blue.
Burn! No escape!
Glacial Fire. I never miss. Hurricane Strike.
Explosive ring!
Mega Ray. Samurai Aqua. Annihilation.
Try harder! Now!
Negative gate.
You're my... Try harder!
Negative gate. On your knees. Air pressure. Resonate with the earth. Select.
The enemy's reeling!
Complacency is the root of carelessness.
Point taken. Stay sharp, everyone!
This one's mine.
Here I come!
On guard!
This should do it!
Lunar Corruption. By the power
I let my guard down.
Radiant Pierce.
Here I come!
Rendering you a bloody...
you a punk! Bloody howling!
Is it in the sky? Mine.
Negative gate!
Resuscitation! Here's a healing arc!
Not done yet!
Thanks, Shion.
Try harder!
Look sharp!
Ready to go! Where are you going? Got Searing flame! Here, flame of fury!
Target generation!
Water! Hear my call!
Explosive ring!
Guardian, I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation!
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane foot! It's over! On guard!
Try harder!
Dance on the wind! Crescent moon! Lunar corruption!
Now we're
Lunar
Dragon
blast!
Swarm! Try harder!
Hurricane strike! Radiant burn up!
You're mine!
Searing flame!
I'm not done! It's over! Crescent
Searing
Blast!
flame! Reload!
This one's on! Mine!
I'm all stocked up! Another
This
rifle!
Take this! I'm not done!
An outstanding effect.
Radiant spear!
You picked the wrong fight! Resonate
I'm all stocked up!
Going in.
This should do it!
Hurricane
Dragon Swarm!
Bloody
Explosive ring! Try harder!
Hurricane
There.
strike! This way! Where are you going?
Onward! Can't get out of this!
Hurricane strike!
Eagle Ray! Armor won't save you! I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Yeah! What?
Right. Afraid not.
Right.
Yeah!
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend... so much? We should be able to cook here.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law. So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
Right, here goes! You're mine! I'm not done!
Hurricane Splash!
I'll face you! Try this!
One's mine!
Explosive ring!
It's a duel of the arts!
You're mine!
Mine.
Dragon Swarm!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly! Here's evil!
Take this! Here I come!
The Hurricane Slice!
Not today! I'm not done!
There!
We did it!
Make it rain! Redwell, astral energy, full throttle! Whew. Thank goodness we won.
I'll do my best!
Take this! Dragon Force!
Take this!
Explosive ring!
Anything in order is all mine!
Do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Good to know my training is paying off.
Right, here goes!
Where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane Flight!
Dragon Swarm!
Are those rocks skin?
Explosive ring!
Go for the weak point! Glad you have your uses. Will this help?
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Hurricane Flight!
I'm hurt bad!
Healing Circle!
I owe you one! Dragon Swarm! I'll take you all on!
Searing Flame!
Astral
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Searing
You're
Flame!
mine! Dragon Swarm!
Going in!
Dragon! No escape!
Hear my call!
Try this!
Red! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil!
Dragon!
Freeze Laser! Inferno!
Here I come!
Radiant light!
No escape! Dragon Swarm!
I'm out of ammo!
Try this!
Do it!
Okay. Here I...
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil! Crescent Moon! Not on my watch!
Strike! Explosive ring!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed ball.
Where are you going?
Try this!
Going in!
Explosive
One
ring!
more! Lightning!
Here I come!
Downfall!
Dragon
Do it!
Swarm! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Will this help?
Now! You're mine!
Ghost you!
Ardex!
Rimmer! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
This looks nice and tough.
Huh.
Coming through.
Take this! Finish on!
No arts are being interrupted.
Dragon Swarm!
Here I go!
Try this!
And just take cover when it calls
Explosive
up!
ring! Burn in hell!
Here's
Take
the
this!
evil!
It's almost too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Charge like that could easily be
Explosive
fatal.
ring!
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Freeze Laser!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm! No escape!
Hurricane!
Explosive ring!
Mega Ray!
Take this!
Gemini Aqua!
Strike! Try this! Explosive ring!
Tide of battle has turned in our favor.
And let's keep pressing the attack.
Dragon
Indeed.
Swarm!
But remain ever vigilant.
Going in!
It's over!
Mega
You're
Ray!
mine!
Do it! Flaming Meteor!
It's
Inferno
over!
Crossing! Hear me!
Here I
Flame
come!
of Fury! Burning
Hurricane!
Hurricane!
No
Glacial
escape!
Spear! Here's the evil shot!
Dragon Swarm! Explosive ring! Dragon swarm! Dragon crossing! Explosive ring!
This one's
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Together, there is nothing that can stop us.
Indeed. As one, we are unrivaled.
And that is our greatest strength. You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much. Retreat if you know what's good for you.
You're mine! Dragon swarm! Try this! Explosive ring! Dragon! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Got fire!
I've got it! Let a marksman handle it! Lead the
All yours!
Glacial spear!
I'm
Here's
not
evil!
done! Burn!
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack.
Indeed. But remain ever vigilant.
Get behind me!
Phoenix!
Lion power!
Dragon swarm!
Make it rain!
Kisara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Make it rain! That's what I like to hear. An opponent like this should be easy. You're mine! I'll face you! Dragon swarm!
Radiant
Hating fire! Dragon swarm!
Their hide is thick as armor!
You're finished! You're mine!
No armor can stop me! Remind me to stay on your good side.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
I owe you
Get
something.
behind me, real
Got it! Too.
You'll soon see about that!
Ruin's gate! Crush! Explosive ring! Dragon swarm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I shall ensure you survive this.
Here I come! Dragon swarm!
Thanks, Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Ha! You picked the wrong fight!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Here I come!
Aw,
Dragon swarm! Dragon swarm!
Scream faith and blood, rending you apart.
Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Our superiority was undeniable.
It feels invigorating to dominate a battle.
I was certain I saw you yawn.
Come now, I'm certainly not that relaxed. My face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Shion? Oh,
Seriously? Is this a joke? Thank you for that. Well then,
You have to aim for the bright area on their back.
Explosive ring!
Go for the weak point.
let's keep up the pressure!
I'll grind you into dust!
Eruption!
Here I come!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malachor! Make it rain!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Could have been worse.
Heals up. Time to get out of the way.
It's
I don't have much left.
Not today!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Dragon Form!
My call!
It's over! You're mine!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks,
Make it
Kitara!
rain!
In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed roll.
Dragon Swarm! Try this! Try harder! You're mine! Dragon Swarm! Try this! Explosive Ring!
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack!
Indeed. Remain ever vigilant.
You're mine! Try harder!
Where are you going?
Here I go!
Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil!
Escape!
Freeze Lancer!
Flaming Meteor!
Inferno Crossing! Annihilation!
Negative gate.
Here's a healing art!
Bathed in blood.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Make it rain!
Okay, double me! In an instant! Impact Block!
I've been doing really great lately.
Let's see what
Let me
you've got.
help!
You're mine! Ignite!
In your deck.
You're mine!
Hear my call! Spread!
The bigger they are, the harder they fall!
Aim for the weak spot!
Hurricane Strike! I will heal you all! I'm ready!
You're mine! Strike! Dragon Swarm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help! I can't heal you
Looks like you
forever!
came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword, and with my thorn.
Dragon Swarm!
Can you take it? Shine. Radiant light.
Dragon
Force of
Swarm!
regeneration. Regenerate.
Here I come! Try harder!
Lunar Corruption!
Dragon Swarm!
Onward.
Lunar Blast!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
Lunar Corruption! Lunar Blast!
Explosive Ring!
I'm ready.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
On your
By the
knees.
Here
power
I
of
come!
water!
Take this.
Dragon Swarm! Try harder!
By the power of
On
water!
your Dragon Swarm! Try this! The flame inside me yearns to be let
Resonate
free!
with the earth.
Lunar
Stalagmite.
Corruption!
Dragon Swarm!
Lunar Blast!
Further.
This one's mine!
You have to hold on!
Magna Ray!
Ah! Ignite!
Annihilation! Lightning! This one's mine! Searing Flip! Reload! Water! Hear my
Resonate
call!
with the earth. Stalagmite.
Here's evil!
Rending you a bloody homage.
On guard!
I
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
I thought you were going to wreck the place.
I'm not nearly finished yet.
Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
Make it break!
Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
That'll teach us for getting cocky.
The design of this equipment is real. Really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
No choice! Dragon Swarm! Explosive ring!
Into the shadows!
I'm not done!
Rending you apart!
Dragon Swarm! Explosive ring!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Swallow Blade! Infernal Torrent! Take this! Struck! Explosive ring!
Here's a healing art!
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane Strike!
We did it! My turn! You're mine! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Lunar Corruption! Lunar Blast!
Shield
I'm
and
wrapped up!
I'm ready! Trigger!
Astral Energy!
Say no more. Onward and upward.
Let's dispose of the trash.
You picked the wrong fight!
Allow me to help.
Perfect move!
Take this!
Annihilation!
Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine! Flame of Fury!
Blast!
Burning Dragon! Hurricane
Aim
Strike!
for the deity!
Look sharp!
Taking fire! Thanks! You're mine! Try Bearing Blast!
Here's the evil!
Explosive
On
ring!
guard! Punching
Take this!
Freeze Laser!
Dragon Swarm! I'm ready!
Amazing.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'm practically unstoppable.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there'll be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you. Law. No pushing anyone. Not even as a joke.
I'm not a
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not... necessarily. Both of them contain...
Get lost!
Dragon Swarm! Here come one, come all! Radiant Light! Pulse of regeneration! Okay, here I go.
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your pain. Don't try to do more healing.
Try this.
I'll pick you all on! Ha! Flare Demolition!
Shine! Radiant light! Force of regeneration!
Healing circle!
You must be tired of healing me.
I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Glad you're on our side, Doreen.
Negative
Portal blade. Try this.
Look sharp!
Infernal torrent. You're mine. Dragon swarm.
Make it rain!
Surges through
In an instant. Impact block. We work well together.
like a finely timed wall.
Dragon swarm.
This one is mine!
Portal blade. Try this.
Target
Infernal
rain!
torrent.
Make it rain!
Kisara. Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Elusive deity!
Thrust. The flame is behind the earth to be left free.
This
Explosive
one
ring.
is mine!
Thrust.
Crescent moon! Burning!
Our art is being interrupted.
Hear my call!
This one's mine!
Eagle ray!
Inferno crossing!
Begin!
You're mine.
Make it rain!
Demon's descent!
Flashing fang!
Lunar correction! Light!
Let the light begin. They smite with light and
Time
ray!
to shine! Here's a healing art!
Try this.
Right up the door!
Execution! Alright!
Make it
Resonate
rain!
with the earth! Stalagmite!
You.
Downfall! I'm out of ammo!
Dragon swarm. I owe you one.
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so close.
An opponent like this should be easy. You picked the wrong fight.
Begin!
Here I come.
Benediction
I
light!
never miss! On guard!
Thrust. Dragon swarm.
On guard!
Aim for the weak spot. Explosive ray.
This
Take
one's
this.
mine! Mega ray!
Thrust.
Back into the frame! Mega ray!
Try this.
Going in!
Explosive ray.
Anything in armor is all mine!
I owe you one. Dragon swarm.
Do it!
Kisara. Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it.
Yeah! Nice technique!
Rising. Infernal torrent.
I'll face you!
Here I come.
Freeze Lancer!
Dragon swarm. Try this.
Who wants to die next?
Explosive ring.
Mine!
Searing
Dragon
flame!
swarm.
This one's mine! Crescent moon!
Try this.
Hurricane blade!
Explosive ring.
Here, let me help! First aid!
Here I come.
Blaze on fire! Tiger Blade!
Lunar, do it! Crescent moon!
Totally. In an instant. Impact block. I've still got a ways to go.
That's far enough!
Radiant
Take
light!
this.
Force of regeneration! Regenerate! Our art is being interrupted. Allow me to help.
Glacial spear! Here, this one's mine!
You're mine.
Tiger blade! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Will this hurricane
Here I come. Dragon swarm.
I've used too much.
Try this. Explosive ring.
Hurricane flight! Annihilation!
Thrilling performance.
You're finished. Dragon swarm. You picked the wrong fight.
Roar! Here's a healing art!
Dragon swarm.
First aid!
Try this. Explosive ring.
There! Only getting started!
Try this.
Flight! Annihilation! On guard!
No escape.
Fury!
I'm nearly done for.
No escape.
Time to shine!
You're finished.
Hurricane flight!
Use its weak point to take it down.
All together, everyone!
Explosive ring.
Piercing roar!
Eagle ray!
Lunar corruption! Who wants to die next? Hurricane flight! Going in! Lunar corruption! Hurricane flight!
Dragon
Lightning
swarm.
shot! If it's in the sky, it's mine! Do it!
Explosive ring.
Light burst forth!
Radiant genesis!
Looks like we won.
calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
Get lost! This one's mine! Look sharp!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Tiger Blade!
Explosive ring!
Lightning! Downfall! Glacial Pride!
Hit
Radiant Pierce!
You're mine!
This one's mine!
Burn in hell!
Radiant
Come and
Pierce!
face me.
This is it! I'm out of ammo! Back into the fray! Round and pound!
Resonate with the earth.
Round and pound!
Here I come!
Armor won't save you!
Lunar Blast!
You're mine!
Arc
No escape! Dragon Swarm! Try this! Explosive ring!
This one's mine!
Look sharp! Mine! I'm not done! Try this! Explode Torrent! You're finished!
Water! Hear my
Strike!
Arcane Flash!
Dragon hits this!
Don't leave me all alone here.
You're mine!
Their arcs were interrupted!
Explosive ring!
Into the shadow!
Win! Elusive deity! Southern wind!
Can you take it?
No escape! Dragon Swarm!
Anything in armor is all?
Air pressure!
Look sharp!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Searing Gale!
Do you still have enough energy for healing?
Honestly, I'm a little worse for wear. This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Let me help!
You wanna play?
Come at me! This one's mine!
Southern wind! Searing Gale!
Top field!
Here like this!
Stalagmite!
You're mine! I'm ready to go! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Thanks!
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm! Explosive ring! I'm not done!
Everlasting dawn.
Not today! I owe you one. I'm not done! I owe you one. Explosive ring! Double Demon Fang!
Who wants to die next? On guard!
Dragon Form! Double Demon Fang!
On guard! Mega Ray! On your
Eternal Devastation!
Inferno Corruption! Lunar Blast!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
That extra training paid off.
No choice! Here I come!
Annihilation! Mega Ray! Going in!
Eternal Devastation!
Plenty left!
Here I come! Dragon Form! Try this!
Flame of Fury!
Explosive ring!
Global Sphere! Pierce Evil!
Escape!
Free Blazer!
This one's all mine!
Radiant light.
This one's mine!
Front!
Look sharp.
Dragon Form!
Make it rain! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! My turn! No escape!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Lost!
Dragon Form! Eat dirt!
Begin.
Inferno Crossing! Going in! Igneous Discharge!
Begin.
This one's mine!
Dragon Form!
Glacial Coup! Going in! Let me help!
Dragon Form!
I owe you one for that.
Tiger Blade!
Explosive ring!
Help! Piercing Boga! Freeze Lancer! This one's mine! Here, let me help.
Here I come!
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm! Vacuum Blade!
Hurricane Spear!
I'm ready! In a bind?
You're mine!
Dragon Swarm!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Vacuum Blade!
Step back! This one's all...
An opponent like this should be easy.
Here goes!
Dragon Swarm!
It's here!
Blade!
Let's engulf you!
Your mother's time! Dragon Swarm!
Resonate with the
Vacuum
earth!
Blade!
Stalagmite! Exploit the enemy's weakness!
Ether!
Pugula!
You're mine!
A thrilling performance!
Dragon Swarm! Try this!
Make it work! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
The Oath of the Renans, number 7.
Always replenish your stomach after a battle.
That certainly explains a lot about Balseth.
They're messing with you.
Guess I misread the landing.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone!
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared!
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle? Take care of them while keeping an eye on it!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
This one's mine!
Another incantation ruined.
I didn't want to put you out.
What our friends before, we can't depend on one another.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm! You're finished!
Healing Circle!
Piercing
Resonate with the
You're
earth!
mine!
Going in!
Try this! Explosive ring!
Bloody time to shine!
I'm not done!
Going in! Reload!
You're finished! You're mine!
Look sharp!
Annihilation!
It's over! Take this!
This one's mine! This one's mine!
Nothing! Explosive ring! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
go!
Take this!
Hurricane strike! Burning shot! Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Explosive ring!
My head's spinning just watching you.
Dragon Swarm!
Punch it out!
Burn!
Crescent healing!
Okay, here I
Tiger
go!
blade!
I'm not done!
Appreciate the help.
Take this!
Going in!
Dragon Swarm!
Inferno corruption!
Regeneration! You're finished! Dragon Swarm!
Titan! One more!
Shine! Radiant light!
Crescent down!
Pulse of regeneration!
Here I come!
Inferno corruption! Where are you going?
You're
Don't
finished!
suffer in silence.
Here's a healing
Dragon
arc!
Swarm!
First aid!
Explosive ring!
I'm all stopped up! Searing
You're
blade!
mine!
This
Dragon
one's
Swarm!
mine!
Shine! Radiant light!
Radiant corruption!
You're mine!
This one's
Dragon
mine!
Swarm!
Sorry to come. Back into Inferno
Try
cross!
this.
Mega ray!
Explosive ring!
Gemini Aqua! Annihilation!
Strike.
Searing flame! Reload! Far enough! Let's keep up the pressure!
You're
Here's a
mine.
healing arc!
Take this!
Dragon
First aid.
Swarm! Try this!
Hurricane
Explosive
Swarm!
ring!
Rending you apart! Use its weak point to take it down.
Everyone,
Burn in hell! Here I come!
their arcs were
I'm
interrupted.
done!
Ryan Owl!
I'm ready! Throw it! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
This one's mine!
All right. Now where
Try
were
this!
The spray!
All right.
Every your death, Queen. Then tonight's meal is on you.
Here comes!
Going in!
Dragon Swarm!
Punchula! If it's in the sky, it's mine! By the power of water!
Crunch! Dragon Swarm!
Reload! I never miss!
I'll grind you into dust!
Vacuum blade!
Amazing.
Piercing roll!
You're finished!
Hurricane strike! Radiant going in!
You're mine!
Punching out of ammo!
Dragon
Back
Swarm!
into the fray! Mega
There!
ray!
Captivity!
Annihilation!
I'm not done!
Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning
Here! I'm not done!
I'm gone!
Crunch!
Can't get out of this!
Target!
To me.
Armor won't save you!
Hurricane strike!
Resonate with the earth!
This one's mine.
Dragon Swarm!
Corruption!
Rending you apart!
By the power of water!
Vacuum blade!
Bloody
Inferno
hell!
crossing! Here! Going in!
You're mine!
Hurricane strike!
It's over!
Thrilling performance!
Punching
Dragon
Mega ray!
Swarm!
No dawn shall break this
Now,
night.
while it's reeling!
Take it down!
You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
I'm all stopped up!
I'm not
Mega
done!
ray blade!
Dragon Swarm!
Fire power! Annihilate curl!
Negative gate! Rending you apart!
Explosive ring!
Start! Make it rain! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Shattering of pieces! Attack time!
Here come more.
You'll just have to keep fighting. On your shot!
An astral art?
That's my cue! This one's mine!
Shut him down!
Searing flame!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm ready!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Come one, come all! You're mine!
Rending you apart! Bloody
This one's mine!
on your knees!
Water! Heal my bro! Do it! Inferno!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Now! Stardust!
Far enough!
This
You're
one's
flashier than you look.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
Dramatic, but fair.
No more playing nice! I'm all stuffed up! Hurricane!
You picked the wrong
I'll
fight!
bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation! Let me help! First aid!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Here's a healing arc! Here's a healing arc! First aid! Here's evil! Arc sealed!
My turn!
Wave Lancer! Down!
You're off. Reinforcements incoming.
Not a problem!
Look shot! Rending you apart!
Dragon
Bloody
Swarm!
howling!
Ready to go! Going in! No,
I've taken too many hits!
I couldn't make it in time. Now it's my turn.
Reset.
a new lease on life.
Force of regeneration!
By the power of water.
I owe you one.
It's in your hands now.
Guess I had to use the
here I
Bring
go.
you back from depths abyss.
Here I come!
No, it won't end like this.
Eat this!
Ready to go.
Try harder! It's too much!
Healing
Dragon
circle.
Form!
This one.
And just like that, I'm back in it.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done.
Look sharp. I'm ready.
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Take this!
Right up the way.
I'm not done!
Ready to go.
There! You're mine! Vacuum blade!
This one's mine. Great
Dragon
Form.
Form! We did it! Dragon
I
Form!
owe you all.
It's
one
over!
is
Dragon Form! Stardust! Rising Phoenix! Get
Here, let me help.
This one's all mine! Dragon Swarm! Ignite! Here I come!
Here's evil.
Is this what real pain feels like?
Here I come! Dragon Swarm! I'm not
Healing
You're
circle.
finished!
Thanks, Shion.
You're mine! Dragon Swarm! Next!
This one's mine.
Explosive ring!
Here, do it.
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Here's a healing art.
Now! Take this!
Time to start. Hurricane Flight.
Try
I
this.
can't heal you forever.
Explosive ring!
Gemini Aqua. Here's a Hurricane Flight.
Dragon
This
Swarm!
one's good.
Dragon Swarm!
Come on.
You have to hold on.
Healing. Crescent Moon. I'll bring you back from depths abyss. Hurricane Flight.
Here I go!
Going in.
It's over!
My pride was my downfall.
Take this! Strike!
Armor won't save you!
This one's all mine!
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Burn it!
First aid.
I don't know what I do
Is
without
some
you.
punishment?
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Reload.
No rest for the
You're
wicked.
mine!
Hurricane Flight. I never miss. Going in.
Dragon Swarm!
Benediction of light.
There!
Hurricane Flight. This one's mine.
Can't get out of this!
Plenty left.
You're mine!
This.
Stay away from my... Friends!
Everlasting darkness.
Negative Dragon Swarm! Now I can let loose. Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lunar Corruption. Hurricane Flight. Gemini Aqua. Going in. Lightning.
No escape!
Downfall. I'm out of
Try
ammo.
this!
Back into the fray.
Explosive ring!
Annihilation.
deity!
Healing.
This
one's mine. It's weakened.
This ends now!
Is that a healing one? It is.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! This one's all mine! Heal!
Healing circle. It's about to strike.
Look sharp, everyone!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat, not yet.
Whatever you do. Just please stay safe.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
Handle it. Just watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down!
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
So I still had room to grow.
What do you know? Another big fire monster with nothing better to do than get in our way!
I wonder where the rest of those lights ended up landing. It looked like they were pretty scattered.
Well, whatever they're after, let's just hope none of them are anywhere near a city. An ambush on civilians is the last thing we need.
Well, no rest for the wicked, right? Though with 1 down and 3 to go, it sounds like our headache is just beginning.
I thought you liked the opportunity to flex your muscles.
Against those things? It's not like I have a death wish. Besides, we've already got our hands full saving the world. Dying stupidly won't be much help to the cause.
Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that logic. Sorry.
Hey, is that it over there?
You guys checked your equipment lately?
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Xion can finally get rid of her thorns. Xion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Xion? Where'd Xion go? How could she just go off on her own? Xion. Xion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Xion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shionne!
Elfin?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Elfin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shionne, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Did you know?
Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once... But I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand at all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard? How could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the Blazing Sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shionne.
But then, I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dahna and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shionne. Our fight won't be... Dahnans and Renans can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have 2 goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shionne. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that'd mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shionne?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shionne, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a Sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shionne's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. The cap...
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, It must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?